In the headlines, work underway to build back better for victims of the Boxing Day fire at Silver Lake. A fire department investigation has found that the origin of the Silver Lake fire was electrical. And the influenza epidemic may be over, but the public is being urged to remain alert as the annual flu is still around. I am Andrea V with the Channel 5 News details after this.
Join Channel 5 News as we take a look back at the major news events which shaped Dominica in 2016.
2016 saw the groundbreaking ceremony for construction of Dominica's new multi-million-dollar hospital.
The ruling Labour Party retained its suffrage seat in a by-election in July.
Dominica lost a friend in Cuban leader Fidel Castro.
And the World Health Organization declared Zika a global health emergency.
Join us as we review news events of the past year with guest presenter Farah Rock Korea.
December 30 and 31 at 8 p.m. with repeats on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 7th and 8th of January 2017.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the site of the Boxing Day fire disaster at Silver Lake has been cleared and preparations have begun for a new housing development there. On Thursday, Channel 5 News met surveyors on the job at the property at Silver Lake while significant work had been done to remove the ruins left by the fire. This as Prime Minister Skerrit assured 20 families who lost their homes that work would start immediately to complete a second apartment building at Silver Lake in the first instance. Housing Minister Reginald Austrie said he would also meet with his staff to review the designs of additional proposed apartments.
There is money available for the construction of that second apartment building. There has been some administrative challenges, and you would know that there has been a little slowness. But the government has done what it has to do, which is making the money available for the construction. So the administrative challenges has to be sorted out between the contractor and the ministry, but that I understand is well on its way. You also knew, and we promised you, that after that second building, we would have moved into the third building and the fourth building. But as fate has had it, we have to move much quicker than we anticipated on the third and the fourth building. We have been seeking to engage contractors and to set a definite date when we will start construction, but I can tell you it's going to be quick.
The first apartment building was constructed 2 years ago in the community and has been occupied by 6 families of Silver Lake. Meantime, Channel 5 News spoke to some of those displaced by the fire being housed at the Bath Estate Community Center.
Right now, the Bath Estate Community Hall for rescue right now. I lost everything I had. I don't know, I'm back zero again. It's just me and my 2 kids, my daughter and my son.
I'm 14 years old. I attend the Wesley High School. Mostly all of my things got ruined. I haven't got nothing to go to school. No textbooks, nothing. I don't know how I'm going to go to school. And now I have to be here.
I was not there. I heard it on the radio this morning and I came up. And I find I lost everything, my sons, and I lost everything. But thanks God we have life.
My name is Shirley Tousse. I live at Silver Lake. I have 8 children, including my mother, myself, and my children's father. The house got burned. I don't know how it burned. I lose everything I had, everything I worked hard for. I lost. I traumatized. I know I lose everything. I will get it back. But thank God for my life I have today. I could die too.
Fire investigators have concluded that an electrical short circuit was the cause of the fire at Silver Lake. Deputy Fire Chief Farley Revere told the Channel 5 News the investigation, which was conducted the day following the incident, is complete.
We were told that the TV wasn't on, but there was a fan that was connected to the electrical outlet, exactly where we were looking. And we found out that there was arcing or fusing of electrical wires. Now, when you find fusing of electrical wires, that means to say the electrical wires that you find close to each other at the end would bulb. The end wires would bulb. That indicates an electrical short circuit. Yeah? And that's exactly what we found where we were looking in the rubble. Attached to the TV was balding as well.
Revere says it was pretty easy to determine the cause of the fire because of early information by occupants of the longhouse.
Although the owners say they were not in there and the TV wasn't on, I'm not saying it was the TV, but the wires going to the TV showed balling or fusing. That means to say there were some sort of electrical short circuit in that particular section of the building, thus the cause of the fire. Once we find the cause of the fire, and there's no need for further investigations, the site is handed over back to whoever it is that need to do whatever it is. During investigations, we always ask people not to move anything because whatever you move may be the source for the fire to start.
Meantime, Revere says fire officers had to face serious obstruction and potentially dangerous situations while attempting to extinguish a house fire at Silver Lake.
It's a pity that we could not have done more to protect some of the buildings. This generally was as a result of interference, by interference of the general public, of the people of Silver Lake, actually, or some people, I must say.
Revere admits that the situation should not have escalated to this extent had his officers not been interfered with. One officer was even attacked, according to Revere.
Some people actually came after him, challenged him. He got a punch on his shoulder, the left shoulder. From the punch, he went back onto another building where he got shocked by a live electrical line that pitched him some 5 feet away from where he was standing. His hose line was taken away from him. And at that point, where he was protecting this long house, which wasn't on fire at the time, the fire got out of control. The same thing happened when the fire officers placed the fire pump, the portable pump, in the river. The guys in the area took hoses. They do not know how to run the hoses. They twist the hoses all over the place. And water could not go through the hoses. We had to take some time, 10, 15 minutes. Unfortunately, the entire place went, and it wasn't as a result of us.
The situation forced the fire officers to have to untangle hose lines and rerun them. Another hindrance, Revere noted, was a delay in reporting the fire. In other top stories, the flu outbreak in Dominica has officially been declared over. This announcement from the Ministry of Health and Environment via press release on Thursday. The outbreak of the acute respiratory infection, flu, due to the influenza A H3N2 virus had been declared on 7th November, with the distribution of cases mainly concentrated in the Portsmouth, the Roseau, Marigot, and St. Joseph health districts. Individuals in the 5 years and over age category were primarily affected by the flu. Thursday's press release states that, according to the World Health Organization recommendations, a disease outbreak in a country can be declared over when a maximum of 2 incubation periods have passed and no new cases have been declared. The incubation period for the influenza A H3N2 virus is 1 to 4 days. The last laboratory confirmed case of the influenza A in Dominica was on 20th November. During the outbreak, a total of 90 cases, mostly children, had been hospitalized. The hospital admissions among the adult group had related conditions of diabetes, hypertension, and asthma. The Ministry of Health is reminding the public to be on the alert for the usual seasonal flu, which runs from the end of December to the end of March. The public is also being reminded that the flu vaccine is available at all health facilities for people most at risk for developing complications to the flu. The influenza epidemic had been declared officially over on 10th December. In more news, greater exposure for local manufacturers is on the cards for 2017. This is one of the goals of the Dominica Coalition of Service Industries, which had collaborated with the Dominica Manufacturers Association and Dexia to host the Buy Dominica Expo earlier this year. Business Development Officer with the DCSI says there was positive feedback from the expo.
There were lots of persons who mentioned how beneficial being able to exhibit their products and even speak about their services, how it was beneficial to them. There were some challenges which arise, but like we said before, we learn from these these challenges to actually make it better for next year. In terms of some persons, they even got contracts from being part of the expo. Some persons got contracts from persons out of Dominica, and there's an individual who got a very large contract even before the event started. So we've seen benefits of persons exhibiting their products and services at the expo.
Fabian says plans are already underway on how to improve the level of exposure at next year's event.
In terms of the venue, for one, maybe using our partners a bit more so that we could get the information out there to a larger audience. What we also intend to do is get more persons on board, so it will strengthen the relationship among the service providers and manufacturers, because the more we own that Dominica is ours and we have a part to play in its development, I think we'll have better results from that.
Local manufacturers have voiced concerns over the high cost of inputs, which in turn leads to more expensive products, and that can be a deterrent to consumers and a blow to their business.
The main challenges of the local producers, from what I understand, could be the cost of the inputs for them in terms of the raw materials. Because based on the cost of their inputs, it will determine the prices, and some persons may think that it's too expensive, but in terms of economies of scale, that's a challenge for persons. Well, policy level have to influence it, but it's like a number of factors would actually influence that.
Earlier this month, Prime Minister Skerrit met with local manufacturers to inform them that government is willing to help them address some of the challenges. Mr. Skerrit said that funds would be made available through a facility at the Aid Bank at an interest rate of 3%. Local manufacturers then met among themselves to come up with specific recommendations to present to the government. Coming up, some of the plans for a growing elderly population in the new year.
The Channel 5 2016 Sports in Review, where we take you back to memorable scenes in local, regional and international sports. The West Indies winning 3 T20 titles, Ramar Carbon with 3 facial dunks in the DABA League, and the Nature Boys match against Martinique in front of a huge home crowd. Join us for these sports and much more on December 30 and 31, with repeats on January 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8, 2017.
Welcome back. Increased efforts at addressing the growing elderly population is on the cards for the Dominica Council on Aging. First Vice President of the Council, Evander Joseph, notes that the increasing elderly population is a worldwide phenomenon and is cause for concern for local, regional and international governments.
In 2015, if my memory serves me well, there were about 901 million elderly people. And this has grown to 1.4 billion in 2030 and 2.1 by 2050. And this is expected to rise about 3.2 billion in 2100. It's frightening.
Joseph says there has been an increase in the number of groups that take care of the aging population on the island, and this is a move in the right direction.
And another thing is there is more care and attention to the elderly than before. Even with us, the Dominica Council on Aging, we have island-wide been established home care groups have gotten themselves together and form what you call homes, where they meet monthly, they congregate, and this is very important, because I'll tell you, one of the greatest illness in this world is boredom, to be lonely.
President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Zet Matuse, has commended a facility that looks after the elderly for starting the process of developing a registry for qualified caretakers of the elderly. Operations Manager of Nature Island Taxi Association, Anthony Scotland, has admitted that the association is not where he would like it to be as the year comes to an end. Scotland says the association continues without success to seek assistance for the Spani Waterfalls project.
Our ratings has still dropped. Although we're doing that work there, our ratings are still moved on that particular tour from 78 to 62. So it shows that even though we accomplished quite a bit, we still have a lot more to do to get the ratings back to where it was. Well, the association is mainly embarking in us trying to get as much tours as possible to create more employment. Because the more tours that we get, will create more employment for drivers, tour guides. We did do a few employment based on tour guides because the Combined Taxi Association had run a program in collaboration with DDA, Discover Dominica, and 75% of the tour guides was trained and passed that exam. They was employed by Nature Island Taxi Association.
He explained that the sites need to be more user-friendly if they are to attract more tours.
Even though you get the tours and then you don't give them the service that's required, you're still going to lose it. And you don't want to lose it based on that. So you want to get it and keep it based on a good ratings.
Meantime, Scotland is hoping for an increase in employment, cruise ship calls, and improvement in the roads and sites in 2017.
The Black Sand Beaches Mirror, it's a very good product. I think they need to work together as well to get all the players involved. All the areas that the sites is selling to the cruise ship, we need to keep maintaining it. We have to keep it up. For instance, we had a problem with the Sulphur Springs when the platform fell with some persons. We did echo that to some persons that the platform had a problem. And I told them that if they give me what it takes, I would fix it.
He says when these accidents occur, it can damage the entire industry. Scotland says his association has been maintaining sites on its own for years without government assistance. He says he is expecting some assistance in 2017. And a student council representative charged with ensuring that all students are on the same path to achieving their goals is just one of the National Youth Council's targets for 2017. From January to March of 2017, the NYC will try to execute all 8 district work plans.
We're just encouraging other partners, to keep motivated and to keep on board with the young people to execute their work plans. And then so in January, we're going to have General Congress where the young people are going to come back. It's similarly like the forums that we had separately, districts separately, but it's one big thing where all the districts come together and we are going to look at and scrutinize the different work plans and see where the different districts can collaborate and see where we need partners and see where the NYC can strengthen in terms of the support for the young people.
Lewis says another target on the agenda is encouraging entrepreneurship among the youth. The NYC is hoping to address the unemployment issue in 2017 by helping the youth recognize their skills.
So when they go and they learn a skill, they can come back to the Dominica Youth Business Trust and become entrepreneurs. So we're opening doors for them to open doors for themselves. So yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing is we're reintroducing the Sustainable Development Program, where we're looking to, that's a program where we incorporate different things. So it's sustainable development, so we incorporate health, education, social being, and so we get different partners to come in and to educate the students and to give them some sort of training within the school base, on a school base.
That's news. Your sports highlights next. We kick off with football, where President of the Dominica Football Association is describing the football year as interesting. This as he looked back on the activities of the sport for 2016.
I think we had our ups and downs in football. I mean, if you want to go back, we participated in a few events or tournaments, I mean, at all different sectors. I mean, we participated in the senior with the Caribbean Cup, and we played against the BVI in our first game, and then we happened to win and then move on to Guadeloupe, and Guadeloupe beat us, and that's where we stopped in the Caribbean Cup. We hosted the Winwood tournament, also the women. We didn't do good, in terms of winning, and we played under 17 women in St. Kitts Nevis, which I think was just exposing the young ladies to the competition. I believe they did very well, when you look at the other countries involved and how they performed. And we also did the under 20 in Santo Domingo, So I think we covered a wide spectrum of the football.
Meantime, 4 local officials have received their FIFA badges. The 4 are FIFA referee Romy Blah, FIFA referee Travis Del Sol, assistant referee Sean McDonald, and assistant referee Clyde Cadet. The FIFA officials were challenged to continue to work hard during their stint as FIFA officials.
I'm concerned that you have been able to identify and perform to the satisfaction of FIFA to be able to have you appointed on the 2017 FIFA official list. But that is not the end of the journey. I trust that you will continue to work hard so that you will be in physical fitness. So whenever you're called, you'll be able to take part in a FIFA organized match. Of course, the key word for 2017 for all of you will be preparedness.
Dominica's chances at getting overseas-based appointments is now increased due to its full complement of 2 referees and 2 assistant referees.
Very often, a team of 4 officials from one country is selected to officiate at regional and international competitions and tournaments. The fact that we have a full team of officials increases the chances of getting appointments. Let me add here that if one member of the team is found wanting at a regional or international fixture, it is almost certain that the entire team will be held responsible and the chances of further appointments may diminish significantly.
This is the first time that Clyde Cadet and Travis Del Sol have made it onto FIFA's list of officials. Moving on to track and field, the head of the Pioneers Athletics Club, Cedric Harris, says 2016 was a year of challenges, yet his club produced some impressive results. This as the former middle distance runner looks back on his club's achievements for the year.
We had a number of good performances, also the national championships. We were the club with the highest points at the end of the day of competition. We also likewise did that at the junior champs. So the club is growing and it's progressing slowly but consistently. I think that's a good thing for us. Also want to say that is not only Cedric Harris doing, but also I have a team of people, dedicated executive members behind me, and they are actually doing their part. And in all, the wholesome picture is being developed.
Moving on now to volleyball, President of the Dominica Volleyball Association, Albert Loblack, says some of the plans that were not executed in 2016 will be targeted in 2017. Among them will be the Volleyball Kidsville initiative.
My only disappointment is one thing that we didn't get up on our activity list was an activity we have what we call Volleyball Kidsville. It's a program whereby we go out to the different communities and teach the volleyball basics to kids between the ages of 8 and 15. We wanted to do it because we need to replenish, and we have to start young. So we're hoping by doing that we could spread the game of volleyball and also spot new talent, upcoming talent. But we're not going to scratch it off the cards. We are going to focus on it next year and really try to get it going, because we really need to, especially in the women area, identify new talent in volleyball.
Meantime, volleyball courts here could get a facelift come 2017.
Because the regional body, Nausicaa, what they do, every year they provide those floors, and we need to apply for it. So it goes in rotation. Like if you get one already, you can apply for a second, barring that somebody else not before you. The parliamentary representative for the Mahu constituency has promised to cover the Massac court. So I'm hoping that comes through next year and that we can have that facility as well to utilize. And also the Prime Minister said that the stock farm project is going to come on stream sometime in January or early next year. So we are also looking forward to that project.
Sports continues with this item where once coach of the Windward Volcanoes, Ian Allen, is looking to continue serving the region in the field of cricket following the non-renewal of his contract as Volcanoes head coach. The former cricketer says he was happy to have had influenced a positive change in the squad during his stint as coach.
I mean, in life you got to move on, and I have hoping to take up another role in Windward's cricket soon. When it's confirmed, I'll let you know. But the period I had with Windwards, obviously, I've enjoyed it. I think I've made some impact in the development of most of the players based on how long they stayed on the team. I think we've gotten to the 4-day finals and in the top 3 for a number of years, but we didn't really manage to win that title. While I was there, I won 50-over title. I'm beating CCC in the final, I think about 2-3 years ago. But I think all in all, it was a good run for me, I should say. I've enjoyed it, but you got to move on. My satisfaction basically came from to see how much players would have gone on to represent the West Indies at different levels. At the senior level, at the A-team level, and also the youth level. It brings, a lot of satisfaction to me and stuff. So it's all about moving on now to in a different area of Windward's cricket, because I still think I have a lot of service to give back to Windward's cricket that would have done so much to me over the years.
And the Somerset Sports Club brought Christmas cheer to 20 economically disadvantaged people in the community of St. Joseph for the second year in a row. 19 men and 1 woman each received a meal from the club. Somerset celebrated its 53rd anniversary this year. That's all the time for sports. Join us next time. Your weather forecast is next.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I will be your presenter for this evening, Farah Rockeray. Today, a high-pressure system was the dominant feature across the Lesser Antilles. Earlier visible satellite imagery showed low-level clouds traverse across the Dominican and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, hence the occasional cloudy skies we experienced today. Earlier radar imagery up this afternoon indicated a few isolated showers just to the east of Guadeloupe. The weather tonight is expected to be partly cloudy to occasional cloudy with a few scattered showers, and similar conditions are anticipated for tomorrow. Let's take a look now at the marine forecast. Sea conditions will be moderate. Waves are expected to be up to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers, please continue to exercise caution. Let's take a look now at the 3-day forecast. Similar conditions can be expected for the 3-day period. That is partly cloudy to occasional cloudy skies with scattered showers. And Saturday and Sunday, please take note, some breezy conditions are expected for the last 2 days. The rest of the Caribbean tomorrow can expect partly cloudy to occasional cloudy skies with some scattered showers, and that is due to the high pressure system, which will be the dominant feature tomorrow as well. Let's move on now to the international city forecast. Partly cloudy skies are expected for New York, Miami, and London. Thunderstorm activity for the city of Caracas, and Beijing will enjoy some sunny skies tomorrow. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:31 a.m. and will set at 5:45 p.m. Feel free to visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow evening for your next broadcast. Thank you.
To end the news, the headlines again. Work underway to build back better for victims of the Boxing Day fire at Silver Lake. A fire department investigation has found that the origin of the Silver Lake fire was electrical. And the influenza epidemic may be over, but the public is being urged to remain alert as the annual flu is still around. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers, thank you so much for your support in 2016. We wish you a blessed and prosperous 2017.